Good morning, everybody. I'm out with Steve today at the Olympic Peninsula, and we are near the town of Port Angeles, and we're going to be doing a hike called the West Elwha Trail. And this is going to go along the drainage of the Elwha River. It's about 3.3 miles in, and we may be able to add a little bit more on after we get up to the next campground area. The first half mile of the trail is on private property, and then we will get to Olympic National Park boundary. We're starting, it's just before 10 o'clock. It was really foggy this morning, and now it's lifted a little bit and the sun's coming out a little bit. So hopefully we'll have some views. Okay, it's been really well marked to get to this point, and here we are at the Olympic National Park boundary. And they had logged part of the past section, so here we come into the nice thick forest. We're making our way along the trail and down to the river area. We talked to the rangers at the visitor center yesterday, and they recommended this trail as a good winter trail and along the river valleys. And Steve's noticed a few deer rubs already on some of the trees, and there are Roosevelt elk in this area. Well, there's a waterfall coming across the trail here. It must have rained a lot recently. Well, the last little section there has been pretty muddy and slippery, much more wet than the first 2 miles. It's nice to have a little bit of a cedar boardwalk here. We're coming up to the Altair campground. Backcountry camping, you do need a permit. Get that from the Olympic National Park. We're up on the big bridge now that crosses the Elwha River, and the road on the east side is washed out, so it's closed back near Highway 101. And so we've gone just a little bit from the Altair Day Use area to get up here and see the river. We're now looking upstream from the bridge, and you can see how the river's right up against the rocks here. Well, Steve and I have passed the Altair Day Use area, and we are walking along the road for about a mile here, and we are going to go up to where the old dams were removed. From what we read online, there were dams here on the river between 1911 up to 2014, and they were for power generation as well as flood control. But that was decided to take them out. One of the things that's really important to Northwest Forest is the salmon, and this particular river had all 5 of the Northwest salmon. It had Chinook, coho, chum, sockeye, and pink salmon. So that's pretty special. And then it also had 4 types of trout here. We read the sign that all of the fishing is closed on the Elwha and the tributaries right now. And we're not sure, but we think at least some of the salmon have started coming back to the river. And once they all come back, it'll be helping to restore a really healthy ecosystem here. we looked around where the dam used to be and at the spillway area there. We sat down and had lunch for about 15 minutes and I got cold. So we bundled back up again. It's going to be at least a couple hours back. It was about 5 miles to get that far. And the mist and fog's kind of rolling up the river. What temperature do you think it is?
48.
Probably 48. It was around 40, 42 when we were starting this morning. So we've seen a couple groups of people, of 6 or 8 people each. And other than that, it's been pretty quiet. So we'll check in with you in a little bit. Well, we've passed the picnic area now, making our way back up to the trailhead. This next 1 mile is probably going to be the toughest part. On the way down, it was very wet, muddy, and slippery because it was on a hill. There's also 2 sketchy spots. One is a bridge where the railing broke, and the other is on a hillside, a creek flowing, and it was pretty full on the way down. So once we get past those 2, I'm going to be real happy. And after that, then there'll be just 2 miles to go. Okay, we're arriving back at the park boundary, finishing with Olympic National Park. Now we have half a mile on private property. Please stay on the trail. And off we go. We're back to the trailhead now. Turned out to be 9.8 miles. Steve and I really enjoyed the hike. We rated about moderate, and I would definitely check the weather if you're going to do this hike. If it had been raining a bit, the trail's going to be extra muddy and wet. But anyway, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great week, and I'll see you again soon.